Hello, welcome to 2024. It's approximately the 23rd of February. And the file, I don't even know what its original file was. No, I've got no idea because it's from another hard drive put onto this hard drive. I'm going to say it's approximately 5 or 6 years old. Easy. Old house, looking weight. I believe it was when I was with Annie. It was a review filmed, and it's just called Brimstone, which is that weird western film. It would have been a weird, wacky but wonderful kind of Baboonery one video when I was jumping around all over the place, and I never got around to editing it. I just never got around to it. So like 6 years later, I'm kind of like, I've put this file on the computer, and I couldn't tell you what the other 3 films were. So I put this at the start. Might be back. No idea. Enjoy this video. Right, I'm going to do this very quick. This is a brand new Baboonery. I am Stephen Mason, and I've just done a massive rant about Therapy because today Therapy's brand new album's come out. And this will probably come out about 2, maybe 3 months, nearly almost fucking Christmas by the time this Baboonery comes out. I want to try and get on top of videos, but it's like when I watch a film, I want to review it straight away. Rattle, rattle, fucking Kong Skull Island. I have a good idea what 2 of these films are, but I'm not sure what the films are going to be. It'll have to be something I've watched lately. So, Copland. So when you see Copland, well, this is probably not the best idea. I love Copland from back in the day, and the Blu-ray cover has took away a bit of that noir it kind of had on big box VHS. Not even going to bother fucking looking for that. Taking the iconicness of Goodfellas. Okay, I'll do that. Be very careful with this. Goodfellas. So when you had Goodfellas from back in the day, such an iconic hit. The idea of coming along with a film cover what looks very similar, you take away Joe Pesci, you have Robert De Niro, you have Ray Liotta, you add Harvey Keitel for Joe Pesci, and then you add Sylvester Stallone, and you've sold the fucking movie, especially when you have a very similar layout to this. You should have had Robert Patrick on there because Robert Patrick is amazing on there as well. But yeah, I'm just going to put this at my hand a minute. So the movie's 2 kind of things. It's sort of a western and it's sort of a love letter to Scorsese itself, with a first time really director for big stars. I mean, come on, you get Sylvester Stallone and then Robert De Niro, then Harvey Keitel. You're like, bloody hell, like, well done for your first film. And he does well to merge 2 stories. This little lonely cop island, a guy who wants to be a cop but no longer can because he's lost a hearing in his ear and he's got a long lost love, plays ping pong big games, he's just a sheriff. And then the carnage from New York City coming across. And it's all isolated in this small little town. You know, because what I remembered was, it's a mad shootout, but then it's not. It's a really, like, drawn out western kind of love letter to Scorsese. I find it more interesting now, the scene with Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel in the fucking coffee shop. Because if you listen to the comedy, that's what they'll all talk about. There was a big hoo-ha about who comes in the coffee shop. Should Robert De Niro come into the coffee shop while Harvey Keitel's hanging out? Or should Harvey Keitel be like come into the coffee shop while Robert De Niro's following town? Welcome to Hollywood Ego. They nearly shut down production. Who comes in first? There was an argument. Who should come in first? Personally, who should come in first? Robert De Niro should be in the coffee shop and Harvey Keitel's character should come into the coffee shop because it's Harvey Keitel's town. It's a very small coffee shop. There's 3 people just waiting, looking out the window. Like that kind of Scorsese deli thing. It didn't seem right. The location was wrong. Maybe it was a different location, then Harvey Keitel could be sitting in there, especially at the booth, but not just be leaning by the window. So I go with Harvey Keitel coming in for coffee. On that note, spending 30 grand on a water tower just to establish there's a water tower there, then fake it later on, it's like, okay, there was a lot of money behind this, and the script was decent. This movie is saved by Sylvester Stallone though. He put on the weight. Everyone thought, oh, Stallone's going downhill. He put on the weight. He wanted to get away from acting, as in fucking Daylight, Cliffhanger, that kind of era of movies, Judge Dredd. And he wanted to show that he is a serious actor because he's a fucking brilliant actor. He's a brilliant writer. He's a brilliant director. He's a fucking absolute legend. But it's not really the Wild West, this movie, you know. It's got a slow burner. There's a lot of backstories. Michael Rappaport's hiding in the water tower and all there. And there's some great characters. There's lots of espionage. A lot of people drink. You know, everyone's pissed. You know what I mean? Like, Stallone drives into a tree. He drinks and drives. Michael Rappaport drinks and drives across the bridge and starts firing. He's going, doesn't set a good example. It's not set in the 80s or anything. It's set in modern times kind of thing. But that out of the way, it's very strong performances and I think it's a great time. But again, the shootout's good at the end when it's all quiet and all that. That's quite a good approach to do. But From what I remember on VHS, it's not as mishmash shootout. And coming off just seeing Goodfellas recently, it doesn't have that sort of Scorsese flow to it, you know, the whole, you know, it's, you know, it can see where he wants to go, but it's not, you know. But you should definitely own it in your collection if you've never seen it before. But I'm just saying now, I've just revisited and rewatched it. Now, going away from Copland, where am I? Copland. I did enjoy it, and let's talk about a western. Let's talk about Brimstone. Now, I'm a sucker for a black box western. For some reason, the in thing, like Bone Tomahawk, is to come as a black box in westerns. And I picked it up. I watched Valerian, which is the next film. I watched Valerian, then I put this on and thought, I'll watch this before I go to bed, sleep. Like, and started watching it. And it was slow. And don't get us wrong, this is fantastically filmed. It fucking looks mint. And Guy Pearson's in it, and Dakota Fanning's in it. And she's mute, she doesn't talk. And yeah, the priest, or the reverend, is a bit psychotic, like really psychotic. And you kind of get where stuff's going, but it's really slow. And then it was just like, oh, wait a minute, that was Act 1, and it breaks into the act. I went, hang on a minute, that was like 45 minutes. How long's this film on? Got out of bed, had a look, and fucking hell, it's on for like 145 minutes. That wasn't a bad guess, actually. It's on for 149 minutes, so 4 months more. Now, it's broke up into 4 acts, so I watched this over the course of 2 nights because I was watching it. I was like, right, I want to watch it. It's like Hattonfield and McCoy's. You get into it, and it's there. You feel like there's a slow burner, but then Act 2 totally twists it. I literally thought that Act 2 was the girl, not the mute girl, the girl's daughter grown up. I literally thought it jumped ahead. And I thought the lead actress, Dakota, was playing her daughter younger later. Guy Pearce was still a fucking raging psychopath. It wasn't until the third act, later on the third act, I realised it's like jumping back. So it's showing you how she became mute. With that limbo out the way, this film, fucking hell, it looks beautiful, right? It is a slow burn, but fuck me, this film goes where it shouldn't go. There's certain things in this movie where it's like, okay, and I'm just saying how it is. The Reverend is a psychopath. The Reverend has slaughtered all the lambs. He's went in there and fucking, he's done worse than fucking the American Werewolf in London here. Not only has he slaughtered all the lambs, the film pans in and all the fucking baby unborn lambs, like the models, are lying out on the floor, and it's all prosthetic effects, and it's fucking, oh, it's like, what the fuck? It adds on to that with Animal Cruelty later on, where the girl has to shoot the fucking pig in the head, and not only does the pig scream, go, oh, poor piggy, she then has to stab it to make sure it's dead, and even when she's walking away, the fucking thing is shaking on the floor, and you think, does it really need to go there? There's like death scenes where people are having their intestines cut out and the intestines wrapped around the head, or there's like a weird strangulation in a toilet when he's got half his pants down and stuff like that. It's just, whoa, it's really dark. There's a scene at the church, I don't really know what I talk about, but there's a scene at this church in the first 20 minutes where you go, okay, it's a bit different. I wasn't expecting it. It's all isolated. He's not like any big massive shootouts, but Guy Pearce is just like possessed by the devil. Even the bit with the fire near the end, I mean, there's a fire, the house fire in it as well. It's spectacular imagery, but Guy Pearce is just a raging fucking psychopath in this movie. It's very long, it does abruptly end like that, but it is quite a good story. I do recommend you watching it. Just realise that you're in for like a Hateful Eight, like Django Unchained. When you get in Django, when it goes Mississippi across the thing, and you think, oh yeah, and you go, fucking hell, there's another 2 hours left, fucking hell. So that was Brimstone. Good performances, good film. Did recommend Casper to buy it. So then we've got Valerian and the City of a Thousand Lights, based on a very popular animation, graphic novel. For years we thought this was going to be, or rumoured to be, or exist in the same world as The Fifth Element, being the sixth element, but it's not. It's got she's beautiful, but she always looks angry for some reason. Kira, I can't even pronounce her name. I enjoyed this movie. It's very fast paced at the start, Moonland, which didn't happen, and then it goes on now, like how the universe and all the universe created a massive Rubik's Cube of life, and all went around the universe in a massive spaceship. Very fast track. The special effects in this are absolutely amazing, like totally like wow. The storylines are mental, like feeding a little extinct animal which multiplies anything you put inside. It's like, okay, it's like crazy. It's like the woman carrying the stones of the Fifth Element, and the big hunchback things in the Fifth Element. It's got that Fifth Element quirkiness about it, where everything's just not really expect. There's a bit though when he goes through the city and he's running to chase somebody and all that, and that's just fucking mint. All the different things going on there. Then there's this weird like third dimensional market. and they're walking around shopping and you think, what the fuck? And I mean, that's interesting concept. It's batshit crazy, you know, especially when he's got his hands stuck on the gun and stuff like that. But it was just fucking wired. It does feel like, though, that they played this film safe. What something could have been really been expanded on into a trilogy, rather than go, right, we're going to make a trilogy, we're going to make one film and just see how the fuck it happens. Because like this film felt like played it safe, wrapped it all up. Looks amazing. The actors were really cool on it. It took us ages to realise it's the same kid from Metallica, not as including obviously Hobgoblin in it. The story's fast paced, but I think it loses steam halfway through the whole mystery of why the baddies are the goodies and the goodies are the baddies, and they're mysterious about what happened to Planet Mule. I kind of lost interest, wrapped it up, and then watched Brimstone. But that's what happened. Right, the last film is Zombie King. Right, just got this recently, and this is a Corey Feldman movie alongside Edward Furlong. It came smashed to shit. Need to replace that. I'm going to do a podcast for this. Now, I've wanted to see this film for a while. I am a massive fan of the two Coreys, Feldman and the Coreys on the multiverse. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Coreys, and tracking down their movies just seem to get harder and harder, especially now that VHS is really gone, obsolete. And this film, it took ages to get a hold of. And it's a German import. Now, it is available on Zavi if you've got Prime, so Amazon Prime, to watch on demand. It has been released a couple of years. I didn't realise this, but it's actually made in Britain. Fans of Corey Feldman will know that Corey Feldman did Dancing on Ice a couple of years ago. I remember when they seen that, they're going to have the cast come out, and I was waiting for Corey Feldman to come out, and Sebastian walked out. Yeah, Sebastian walked out. I said, hey there, Sebastian. I got to work with Sebastian on the tournament. Really lovely, funny guy in real life. A freak of nature when it comes to his athleticism. But I asked him, why are you on Dancing on Stars? And he's just like, well, you know, gig's a gig, really. Now, at the time, Corey had his little thing going down there with his hair, and he was in stuff like Jack's Motel or 6 Degrees of Hell or what you want to call that. And it looks like they pretty much had him for 1 or 2 days. So basically, this is a love letter to Shaun of the Dead, a bit more grounded. Now, don't get us wrong, I think this film was well made. When it comes to for its limits, it's really good. Sebastian just fell off something, hasn't he? Sorry, Sebastian. So basically what happens is, the milkman, the traffic warden, or the guy with the fucking parking meter tickets, and the postman, the Royal Mail, are surviving the zombie apocalypse, and they're on the run through the countryside trying to avoid zombies. Now, it doesn't really go full, like, Hot Fuzz kind of Shaun of the Dead thing. It does tickle toe, especially with the milkman sort of being definitely role model after Roy Chubby Brown. Edward Furlong, on the other hand, seems to shot most of his scene about his wife dying, and he is the guy who summons the Zombie King, or Carfu, as Corey Feldman is known in the film. So Edward Furlong doesn't really turn up to the end of the movie either. You know, his stuff's in the cut. It's this gang of, like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, something fell from the sky. Let's go and find this rabbit hole. The fox says, come in. Goodbye for life. So yeah, it really goes around. There's some really good stuff around the towns. It looks like wherever it was filmed as well, the town's been in it, but what they've been able to do is get probably Eddie Furlong from some kind of HorrorCon show, and then obviously grab Corey Feldman for a day's filming, get the star power in for nostalgia reasons. So Edward Furlong's the evil guy who summons the Zombie King because his wife died and turned into a zombie, and he's just pissed at the world, so he summons the Zombie King. Corey Feldman turns up in all leather, sort of like Hellraiser. Hellraiser meets Michael Jackson. That's what I'm going to go for. He's very loud and angry with his performance. He's not in it very long. It seems to just be this church scene, and then I think he turns up 5 minutes before the end of the film, and that's it. I did enjoy it. If it is on Zombie, if you are a zombie fan and you've got Amazon Prime, check it out. You know what I mean? Like, I've left it on the pile there to do a podcast for it, so I will be revisiting it. There's a creepy face on the side there. But yeah, guns, guts and gore. I don't remember any guns in it. Remember, like, there's a crazy priest as well who's always drunk in it. He's quite funny. And the milkman goes around stabbing people and stuff like that with milk bottles. But yeah, this has been Baboonery 8 or 9. I've just done a video for Therapy. It's Pickups for Predator. It's Carnage. So that was Copland. Brimstone, which I'm not doing a podcast for because it's on for way too fucking long. And Valerian, that's the word. I could say I was doing a prep for 8 Legged Freaks, as the company's quite good on here because David Arquette has a fake tash all the way through. Special effects have not aged that well. It is a love letter to the great 50s film, 50s, 60s films, tarantulas, probably only that, where they just have the shadow of the tarantula running across there like a spider of death. And yeah, I did enjoy that. Here it is from the producers of Independence Day and Godzilla. I bet if you find that reissued now, that Godzilla will not be on there. You don't want to mistake that piece of shit for the new film, do you? Really? Sorry. Whoops. You made it. Independence Day, yeah. You made Godzilla. You know, it just rained all the time. Did you not learn your lesson in Stargate about the rain machine? But no. Anyway. Could have been Stargate. I've watched that recently. Could have been Dog Soldiers. I'm just looking at the stuff I got left on the pile. It could have been motherfucking Dick Tracy. That's a podcast. That film looks amazing. Took us ages to track it down. But yeah. So I've been Stephen Mason. Check out the therapy video if you want to know why I've been a train. I've been tripping over it all the way through this fucking Baboonery. Thanks for watching. Fucking room's carnage. This has been Baboonery. Goodbye. Hello. No drum cut needed. Right, okay, so after 5 years I finally did that video. Baboonery, yeah. I enjoy the Babooneries, but they take so long. If you're jumping around and cutting rather than just leaving it here and waffling away, it's kind of like, right, okay. And I was watching that and like, I remember it just being called Brimstone, so I'm sure I did a video recently about Copland, and going, I'm sure I did a review for it, but then I didn't. So there might be a Time Cop review out there somewhere. Valerian, whatever it was called. Don't even remember that movie, but I told myself it was quite good apparently. Then if I had to take money on what was the last video I would talk about, film review, Zombie King would not have been it. But there's an outtake pre-filmed because apparently I already filmed the intro when I originally found the footage. Hello, there is no way I'm fitting in that t-shirt. No way. And since that outtake was filmed approximately 3 months ago, I've lost quite a considerable bit of weight since then, hence I fit back in the t-shirt. I wouldn't go out in public, you know, but yeah, it's on, it fits. Was not fitting 3 months ago, no way. So yeah, anyway, Zombie King, to wrap this up. Probably the Corey Feldman film you go, what the fuck? And that's the one I had in the video. But this one, it's weird, this one. This one right here is weird. So that's the one I got off Amazon somewhere down the line. Got it that way. Still broken a bit. Filmed down the road, somewhere between York and here, right, okay. Can't buy it anywhere, and it's 5 years later since I did that review. Never seen the light of day, alright. Not many of the Corey films come out. Now that is the collection there. If you go watch back to that other video, there's a shelf about here. And that's me Corey here and Corey Feldman collection then. And obviously everything's still around. But I walked into Welton, New Zealand 3 years ago with my two brothers and just looking through DVDs, and you find loads of stuff, and on the shelf what do you find? Zombie King to buy, free for $20. Corey Feldman, Edward Furlong, film down there, never been released there, but you can walk in the other side of the world and find Zombie King. Place perfectly fine, a lot better artwork than the front cover, but I've talked about in the channel. So yeah, Brimstone, file, finally done. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.